So tonight I want to walk you guys through how I backtest on Tradezilla. It is a journaling platform that you can also backtest on. So it does have an area, as you can see, where you can journal your trades, which is super cool. You can view your note and you can just journal everything there, right? So this is a really great way to just take control of your trading and journal what you're actually doing, right? So this is like a trade I took on Thursday, November 13th. Okay, but tonight we're going to be talking about the back testing aspect of it. Okay, so I'd like to know what size account are you guys trading with? If you're doing a prop firm, what size account are you trading with? And if you guys are doing a live account, what size account are you guys trading with? I would love to know. All right, so let's see. What do we have? Somebody said two prop firms. Okay. Somebody said a 50K, 100K. And I'm asking because we have to pick a account size for this back testing session. So I'm trying to get a range of what more people are doing. All right, we have another prop firm, 50K, 50K. So I'm seeing a lot of 50Ks. So we're going to open up a session for 50K accounts, okay? Excuse me, I'm getting over a cough. So the session is the back testing area is super easy to use. You're going to go over here to the right and you're going to click create a session. So now I'm just going to make a session name. So I'm just going to say Saturday night call. We could call it that. I can even add it to a playbook, right? So my method, I like to add it to that playbook so I can keep track of my playbook. Obviously, I trade MNQ, so I'm going to do MNQ, or you can do NQ. It just depends on what account size you're using, but we're going to do a 50K account just because so many people said 50K, okay? And then we can do, let's do November of last year, right? We could do that. So we'll start on the 4th November of last year, and then the end date can literally just be like the last trading day we had. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a session. It's that simple. That is literally how you create a session for the back testing. Now, once you get in here, right, I'll explain these in a second. I like to delete the volume area and I like to change my colors. I'm not a big like red and green fan. I'll do like maybe green with like black or gray. So my cell candles are going to be gray. All right. So I switch my colors. Okay, over here, I'm going to explain this as we start trading, but I will say the calendar will tell you if there's any high impact news coming. Okay, so I like to make my chart New York. And as you can see, we have some medium and high impact news for November 4th. All right. Now, I also like to make sure if you click this go to area here, custom settings, make sure next day open New York time is on 9 a.m. because I only trade opening bell. So I want to make sure that I'm at opening bell. So when I click go to, I'm going to click next day open and it's going to automatically make sure that I am at opening bell. All right, so now I'm going to mark up my chart. All right, so I always start on the daily time frame. And the first thing that I notice is, well, overall, price is failing to swing lower. Price failing to swing lower lets me know that price is overall buying, right? We're still in an overall uptrend. So I'm going to say price is failing to swing lower. And then in parentheses, I'm going to just go ahead and put overall uptrend. All right. I also see that sellers are struggling to break this area multiple times. Well, sellers struggling to close below this area lets me know that liquidity resides below. And what that means is price may be drawn into the area below. Now, something I always tell my students to note is when you have sell stop liquidity or even buy stop liquidity on a higher time frame, price typically takes longer to take that area because it has a lot of momentum. And I like to write out my confluences as I go. All right, not only that, I see there's a gap in the market below price. So a gap is like imbalance. That means that there's a gap below and price may want to go down to fill that gap. When? We don't know. All right. Another thing I see only by being on the daily is a strong impulsive move to the downside of the market. That creates an imbalance in the market that can only be filled with buyers. So I'm going to say imbalance to fill above. Notice how I write these just to get an idea of what's going on. Then I scale down to the 4 hour. So I'm like, okay, what's price doing on this time frame here? Well, I see overall price is still trending upward, and the most recent order block that it is actually rejecting is this 4 hour order block here. The last down candle before bullish momentum creates a bullish order block you want to look for price to trade back into to potentially buy off of. Okay, so that's the most recent bullish order block. I also see that buyers are struggling to break this area here. So we have buy stop liquidity above price as well, which lets us know liquidity resides above and price may be drawn into the area above price. So I'm going to add BSL above. Now I'm going to go to the 1 hour. And I'm like, okay, well, what's price doing? Well, the most recent order block is no longer the 4 hour. It's actually the 1 hour, the last down candle before bullish momentum. I like to stick to the most recent order block just to see how price is going to react there. And I want you to notice how I'm always labeling where I found something. Always labeling where I found something. All right. Then I go to the 30 minute. And I see, okay, well, there's a lot of sell stop liquidity here as well. We've already got the confluence written down, so I don't need to double write it, but I am going to mark it here. And below that, there is an order block price seems to like. Now, I typically don't like marking order blocks so close to each other. So what I do is I make this one a little lighter just so I keep my chart clean. Okay? Now, price does appear to be trying to push down as well, but I want to hear from you guys. Based on everything that we've done and what we have, would you guys be looking more for buys or sells in this situation? And I'll give everybody a minute to respond. And if you have any questions as well, you can always ask. All right, so somebody said buys, 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 buys. Okay. Does somebody want to tell me why they are leaning towards buys? Three confluences. Just joined the session, so just watching. Yep, okay. So let's see. Let's get a little closer to opening bell. You see the time here, that's 9 a.m. It's at 9 a.m. Opening bell is 9:30. This is how you adjust the speed. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So this is what how you adjust the speed. So obviously, the more you go to 1 second, 2 second, 10 seconds, it's slower. Okay. There are more confluences with buys, but for sells, all I need is a rejection off an order block, and I would have three confluences as well. But aside from that, there are more confluences to buy. So good job. This is how you also pick the speed. So there's two areas you're going to adjust the speed. It's here and then this little bar here. So I'm going to show you if I'm at times 10, goes pretty fast. You see that? Now, as I get closer to opening bell, I want to go down to make it slower so that way it's more real time. So you see how slow that is? That's more real time. So let's speed it up. And as I speed it up, I'm watching here because I want to get towards opening bell. Okay? Well, look at that. Price seems to be pushing at opening or right before opening bell. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit closer to opening bell. So here's 9:27. There's 9:28. Okay. We got 9:29. Are you still looking for buys? Obviously, it wouldn't be here. So I want to know, are you still looking for buys? Or here's the most recent bearish area. Are you looking for sells? Now, if you're unsure, that's also a thing. So I want you guys to let me know, how are you feeling about this? Are you unsure because you can see both ways? Or are you like, I'm going to take that risk with buys? Anybody? Are you unsure because you could see both ways? Or are you feeling the buys if it rejects here? Okay, where are you selling? I could see both ways. Okay. That OB above that you just marked. Okay. So we've got somebody that can see both ways and somebody saying that they're going to sell now. Everybody else hasn't changed theirs. They said they were going to buy. So I'm going to make sure it's slow and I'm going to click play because opening bell is coming. Let's slow it down even more. Okay, I think it, what just happened? I think it froze because I'm like, why isn't it going? Let me refresh it. It's weird. It usually doesn't do that. All right, there we go. All right, so it is now rejecting off of this 30-minute order block at opening bell. I want you to put in the chat, are you waiting or are you selling? Okay. So it's rejecting off the 30-minute OB, but we also know that there's this one below. Okay, one person said waiting. What about everyone else? All right, we've got waiting. Okay, we've got pretty much I got three people waiting. What about everyone else? Anybody else waiting or selling? Okay, one person said they're selling. So we are going to sell for her. All right. So if you said you're waiting, this wouldn't apply to you. So my stop loss is always 50 points. And let's say my overall target is all the way down here at the daily sell stop liquidity. Now, in order to get in a trade, you're going to go to quantity here, and I'm going to do 3 contracts. Okay. And I'm going to click sell. Now it has me in a sell. I'm going to make my stop loss at that 50-point area, and I'm going to make my take profit down here. Now, for me, oops. What are the confluences for selling? Great question. The confluences are sell stop liquidity below. There is a gap slash imbalance to fill. And the third one now is prices rejecting off of the 30-minute order block. So there's still 3 confluences. Even though there's more confluence to buy, the sell still has 3 confluences. Okay, so we're going to see. Most people said they're waiting, but one person said they were selling. So we are going to get in. Okay, and then if it gets to the buy area, I'll ask buyers. Okay, so now that we're in this, I want you guys to go to journal and you would go to trade notes and we're going to edit the note. So I'm going to say getting in the sell because 1, SSL below, 2, imbalance to fill, and then 3, rejection off OB. I do want to note this is a risky trade because the overall trend is up. Okay? And then you're going to click the camera and it'll automatically add the beginning of the trade in there for you. All right? And then you can go to playbook and you can add the playbook. And I can say this is the Have Mercy Trades playbook. Perfect. All right? And if you have any extra session notes, you can always add those in as we go. All right? So I got TP1 and 2. TP1 is always 30 points. TP2 is always 50 points. So let's see now. I'm going to speed it up a little bit to see what happens. All right? TP1 was hit. So I'm going to go to my journal and I'm going to go to my notes and I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to say TP1 plus 30 points hit. All right. Now as TP1's hit, I'm like, let me go ahead and make TP3. My areas are key areas in the market. So I see this is the bottom of an order block. I'll make that TP3. I see that price is wicked here multiple times. I'll make that TP4. All right, so let's see. TP2. Oh, TP2 was hit, everyone. So guess what? I'm going to take a partial profit off the trade. So you're going to click that X. You're going to click partial close. And let's say I only want to take one contract off the trade. And I'm going to close position. And then I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. So now in my notes, I'm going to screenshot again. And I'm going to say TP2 hit plus 50 points. Took one contract off the trade, leaving 2 running, stop loss at break even. Now, for everyone else, you guys are still waiting, right? You're waiting because you didn't get in the trade yet. So let's see what happens. Oh, price is trying to go to TP3. I'm moving this down a little bit. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Looks like TP3 was hit. Stop loss at TP1. All right, so I'm going to go to my journal, notes, go to that. I'm going to screenshot it again. I do this so I can come back and look at how I went about the trade. And that's why I really like Tradezilla because I could easily like go from the journal back to the chart by staying on the same screen and I can note everything that I did. So later on, I can look back like, okay, this is what I did, this works, and this doesn't work. So I'm going to say TP3 hit. I'm going to move stop loss to TP1. And I'm going to take another partial, right? So I'm going to go here, partial close, and I'm going to take one more partial off the trade. Move stop loss TP1 and take one more partial, leaving one running. What time frame? I always enter trades on the 30 or the 15-minute time frame. So if you were here at the beginning of the call, I started on the daily and I scaled down. Now, for those that missed the trade, I would go to the 5-minute to see is price going to close below here to possibly give me a entry, right? Because you missed it. All right, well, look at that. TP4 was hit. I need more take profit points. So I'm like, okay, where are key areas the market likes? Well, here's TP5 there. And let's do TP6 here. It's just key areas. So if price wicked multiple times there, that could be a take profit. Now that TP4's hit, guess what? My stop loss is at TP2. So I start trailing my stop loss. For those that missed the trade, right, you want to scale down to see if it's going to give you something maybe on the 5-minute. Oh, looks like it rejected off an area, but not quite what you'd be looking for. Let's go back real quick because what I want to show you is, oops, let me see. Okay. When you see something like this, you want to be like, okay, where could it be going? If the 30 minutes too far away, okay, well, this is the most recent breaker now. Maybe it likes that breaker. And look at that. It's rejecting there. So guess what you can do? For those that haven't gotten in a trade yet, you could get in a trade here. So I'll just put a green for you. Because if I get in again, it'll mess up the entry for the one that got in up here. So for those that missed the trade, you'd wait for the new 5 minute candle if it's a strong bearish momentum, or you can wait for the next 15 minute candle. The only time I scale down to the 5 minute is when I see that we're in a strong trend and price may keep going. So now I'm looking for breaker blocks, which are disrespected bullish order blocks for entry. Okay, so let's say, boom, you get an entry there. And look at that. Price kept pushing. So for those that got in this entry, TP1 would have been hit. All right, and look at that. TP2 definitely would have been hit. So for those in the first entry or the first entry, your stop loss now is at TP3. For those that would have gotten in here, TP2 was just hit, so you're moving stop loss to break even and taking partial profits. Okay. Are there any questions about this? Let's drop a 7 in the chat if this is making sense. And if you have questions, this is a great time. This is a great example of a trade, and also being able to adjust, right? So even if you missed the first entry, there was also room for more. How long did it take to get to TP6? Well, it looks like it took about 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. But you have to know that this was also a news day. So, cool thing about Tradezilla is you can go to the calendar and it tells you when news is. So, we know that this is a news day. So, that's another reason. Do you have a course or mentorship? When is going to be your mentorship? I have both. And I'll talk about that at the end, but I do have both, okay? All right. So, are you in my free Telegram? Because I can put the information in there if you are. All right. Just put a yes if you are, and I'll give you that information in there. All right. Let's just see how this continues. Okay, good. All right, so it's just it continues to push. Speed it up a little bit. All right, looks like for people that got this entry, your stop loss at break even was hit. And for people that got this entry, right, your stop loss at TP3 was hit. So I'm going to go to my journal and I'm going to say price pushed 114 points before hitting my stop loss in profit. Right? So price pushed plus 113 points before hitting my stop loss in profit. All right? And just like that, you have a journal, right? You have your first journal. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. Now what I want you guys to think of is, okay, well, what if I missed that entry? Right? What if you missed all those entries? You would wait for the next 15-minute candle to see where price closes. Okay, now I want to pause here. For those that wouldn't have gotten the sell, are you looking to buy now? Or are you like, I'm good, right? I want to hear, are you looking to buy now or are you good? Or would you have gotten in the sell? I like your multiple time frame confirmation. Yes, it's very important that we scale down time frames, right? So we can look at different time frames and be like, well, That could have been one big liquidity grab, right? Price could have just been grabbing liquidity. Maybe it is ready to buy, right? For the sake of, let's keep going to 44. For the sake of showing you guys how to buy on Tradezilla, I'm just gonna buy it so you guys can see. Yeah, but if you took the sell for the day, you want to be done. I can't stress enough how important it is to be grateful for your profits. If you made money off the sell, there's no need for you to be looking at anything else. I'm going to get in a buy for the sake of the call so you guys can see. You just click the buy button here, and then the stop loss would be 50 points. You use a long position, right? And you would just do 50-point stop loss, and then you would do your take profit wherever you may please, right? So I'm just showing you guys for the sake of the call. And then the same thing, right? And technically you got in here, so the stop loss would be like here. You would go to journal, trade notes. This is number 2. So it goes by in order. Then you can take a picture and type it in. Okay? All right. All right. So look at that. Price did end up buying. Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, look at that. So if you did get in this, it would have been a little tricky, but no, anytime. So if you buy it, you can just kind of just drag the stop loss. Or you can place order here and do it this way, but I don't like how it does the price like that. I like just manually doing it. Okay. So I'd rather do that because it honestly, I think it takes too long. But yeah. All right, look at that. So let's do our take profit. So TP1 would have been here. So TP1 would have been hit. TP1 is like letting me know, hey, I may be going in the right direction, but I'm not going to take partials there just yet. All right, so let's see what happens. Price almost hit that TP2. We know it's struggling at that 30-minute order block. This would have been a real risky trade. Boom, TP2 was hit. So guess what I'm going to do? Close position, partial close, and I'm going to secure a contract. And I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. I'm going to go to my journal, my session notes, screenshot it, and then you can say TP2 hit, partials taken, stop loss at break even, right? And you may need to be more detailed in that depending on how long you've been trading. And then I'm just going to do the rest of my take profit areas. All right, and look at that, TP3 hit, move stop loss to TP1. Maybe you want to take more partials, right? Maybe you want to take the last partial that you can. And then you can put that in your notes. All right, and then it keeps going. Guess what? Move your stop loss up. Make sure you have those other take profit targets, right? Make sure your stop loss is indeed in profit. Price is definitely struggling. All right, look at that. I'd move my stop loss up just to be safe. Right, and it looks like, oh, just continues to struggle. Keep that stop loss tight. Look at that, moving my stop loss up just as price continues to push. I like to get tighter with my stop loss as it keeps pushing. And then look at that, nice. So with the buy and sell, 750 for the day. We got in the sell because we had SSL below, imbalance to fill, and rejection off the OB. We got in the buy because price was failing to swing lower on the higher time frame. There was imbalance to fill above, buy stop liquidity above, and a rejection off of this order block. So even if you miss the sell, if you're patient and you wait for your plan, the buy also presented an opportunity. Okay, and then let's say, cool, I'm done with my trading session for Tradezilla. You would just click the back button. And if you want to review everything, you can go to session results. and it'll give you your results. So we had a 100% win rate. We made 750 on the account so far, right? And it'll tell us the two trades that we had, and I can see them just like that. And if I ever want to review their notes, all I have to do is click notes, and there are all the notes. Okay. Are there any questions for me at all? See, there's the notes. Any questions for me at all? Drop a 5 in the chat if this is making sense to you guys. Okay, perfect. And it even tells you, right, your profit. Yep, so I did great. Didn't really have much drawdown. Okay, so Tradezilla is having a sale, so if you guys want to take advantage of that, I believe it ends tonight. I'll send the links in the Telegram, right? And then I'll send the other information. But there are no questions for me. Everybody drops a 5 in the chat. No questions. I want to answer questions about Tradezilla or anything regards to this matter. Just want to make sure there's no questions for me. 5's in the chat. Can we have the recording? Yeah, I will post the recording on YouTube. Thanks. This is very informative. Can I please get the Telegram link? So, in order to get on this call, you probably were on in the Telegram. If not, you're already in my community, right? The Telegram is free, but I know some of you guys are in my community, so you're good if you're in my community. Nope, not similar to Notion at all. You can upload your trades to this platform. Let me show you. Yeah, it's actually not similar to Notion at all. Notion is strictly manual, like you have to do everything yourself. Okay. So we're gonna go to dashboard, and now these are all my trades. I go to add trade, and I go to export, and I add my trades by uploading my trades from Top Step, for example, or Tradeovate, for example. And then it uploads them for you, and then they'd be right here, and then you can view your notes from them. I don't know why that one's not showing up. There we go. Yep, and then this is my notes from an actual trade that I took with my community. Right? So it's way more direct. It tells me what I had, what was going on. It gives you your daily net P&L, your score, your performance. It gives you literally everything. So yeah, this is really good. Your monthly stats, right? It shows you everything. Please send me your info or website. I will. I will send it in the Telegram. I'm gonna have to get this. I like it. Is there a free version? No, there's no free trial, unfortunately. But yeah, it's really nice. You can have a day view. Like if you click day view, you can view it like this. You can do trade view where you can actually see it like that. You can do your folders, so you can do it like this. You could do reports. Like there's just so much that you can do within this. So it's 100% worth it. What's your thoughts comparing it? So I like this a little better only because I have my journaling and my back testing in one area. So I'd rather pay for this than pay for, because I was paying for two separate platforms for the longest. I was paying for FX Replay and Tradezilla. Tradezilla for journaling, FX Replay for back testing. But now that I've tried Tradezilla for back testing, I'm like, it makes so much sense to just cancel FX Replay and keep everything here. And no, it's not in the App Store, but what you can do is I have the Tradezilla pinned on my here, let me show you. Let me turn on my camera. So like I have Tradezilla pinned right there and on my home screen, and I just click it and it'll come up and I can just see everything from there. See? Boom. So you can kind of pin it there. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think it's a good sale right now, right? And then obviously my ebooks are on sale. Everything's pretty much on sale. I'm doing 40% off my course and my ebooks. And my mentorship is opening up. It'll be starting on December 17th, and I've already got one spot filled for that, so there's only 6 more spots left. But I will put all of this in the Telegram. Okay. Are there any more questions for me? All right. Well, you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. For those that are in my community, you guys know where to find me. You're in the community. For those that are in the free Telegram, I will be putting all this information in there. And yes, we do trading psychology